All right, so we still have a few people coming in, but let's go ahead and get started because I want to make sure that we get to use every minute of our time together today. So welcome to our Think Outside the Mailbox webinar, and we are so excited to have Trish Witkowski with us today to share her industry knowledge and expertise on print that pops, pulls, flips, and oh so much more. I'm Kimberly Heiser, the Senior Marketing Manager here at John Roberts, and on behalf of our team, thank you all for joining us today. If you have any questions, and we hope that you do, please use either the Q&A or chat feature at the bottom of your screen. So most people don't need a real introduction for Trish, but she's so much more than qualified, and I wanted to give you just a formal intro because there's probably some things to her story that you're not aware of. So Trish is president of foldfactory.com and curator of the world's most exciting collection of folded print and direct mail samples. She also hosts the popular Fold of the Week blog on YouTube, which is a long-running series with, get this, more than 600 episodes, truly a cult-like following, and millions of views. She frequently speaks to designers, marketers, and graphic arts industry organizations to illustrate the power of print and digital marketing. She's also an instructor for LinkedIn Learning and MarketWise Academy. She's a blogger and the author of several books on print marketing and direct mail strategies. We are so honored, Trish, you're with us today. Thank you for doing this. And without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over. Take it away.
Thanks, Kimberly. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you very much. And thanks everybody who's joining us. We're gonna have fun today. As Kimberly said, I've been shooting Fold of the Week for a long time. Episode 629 is coming out today. So kind of hard to believe, but I wanted to start with something kind of wild and crazy. I've never done this before. I'm going to share a sneak preview of this week's Fold of the Week. And the reason is because it really relates to what we're talking about today. As I was putting together all of these really great materials for this event today, I got thinking about how we're going to be talking about layering different engagement strategies and techniques and print techniques to make more and more and more engaging communication. So then that inspired today's episode. And then I was like, well, I'm shooting it and releasing it today, and this is a special group. And why don't I just give you guys a sneak preview, because it really relates to what we're talking about. So I'm kind of excited because I've never done that before. So I don't usually share much of anything about an episode until it comes out, but we're going to be building on different strategies. We're talking primarily about formats, but then we're also talking about layering different strategies, engagement strategies and techniques. So what this week's episode is about modifying an open gatefold and the different ways that you can take kind of the way that you normally look at a format and then change it up in different ways to make it so much more unique and special. So this is an open gatefold. So an open gatefold folds in and then back out in the other direction. And so this piece was for an open house. And you can see here, this is kind of your classic open gatefold, but normally, if you're familiar with the format, you usually view this one this way, horizontally. It usually pulls out horizontally. Well, what they did in this version is they made it vertical. So think about change in orientation as an option. Okay, so this is one way to change your thinking, is to think about orientation. Now let's take the same format and let's then also change the shape of the panels that basically reverse out in the other direction. So now you've got die cut. So we've got a special unique shape on those panels rather than just a squared edge. Now you've got them also with a special effect. So we've got foil stamping as well, okay, to add really eye-catching effects. And then you've also got this wonderful open gate technique, but now this one has the horizontal orientation. Okay, so this is more of a classic orientation, but shaped panel. The other one was classic panels, different orientation. Now let's build on that. This one is taking the vertical orientation, the shaped panel, and now we're adding a third element of asymmetry. So now we've got this classic open gate, but we now have the center point shifted. We've got shaped panels, and we've got vertical orientation. So you can see how you can layer these different things together, right? So now this one is not on the episode, but it was funny because I almost put this one into the episode, and then I was like, you have to stop somewhere. Like, you cannot keep adding on to this, but for you guys, I get to do this. Now let's talk about overall perimeter shape. This is still an open gatefold. This is shaped panels, but total perimeter shape as well. So see what we did here is we're talking about orientation, special print effects, shape, symmetry, and also this is overall shape as well when you're thinking about a format. So, and by the way, this one does have some print effects on the back too that I forgot to mention. It's got some foil stamp. So I wanted to start there because I hope that's like a nice little preview into the types of things we're going to be talking about today, which is how you can build different forms of engagement strategies together to make your print communications more and more engaging. So we're going to start simple, and then we're going to build. And by the way, I see this presentation really as a conversation. I love having everybody in. If you think of things you want to talk, you want me to show something again, like throw it in the chat or the Q&A, like let's have a conversation. If you have a question about something that I'm sharing, absolutely, like throw it in there, let's talk. So that's what's so nice about a live interactive format like this. So it's more fun when people participate. So feel free to participate. So we're going to start simple. So I moved a little bit down the road with that preview there, but this is a wonderful example of just an engagement technique, an interaction device. So think of this as like two panels glued together, very simple. But what we've got here is a perf and a little kind of half moon here to give you the ability to tear it up. And what I love about these types of little interaction devices, one, they're easy, they're fun, but they're also very sensory. You can, if you listen, if I stop talking for a second, you can hear this. There's a wonderful little noise that they create. There's the popping and the interaction. You're giving people something to do. I like this one because it also kind of has either a question and answer scenario, it's got a message that it's building on. And it's a curiosity factor that's really, really nice to get people engaged. And it's simple. It's perf, die cut, a little bit of glue, and that's all this is, two panels glued together. So I love this one. Now let's take this same concept and let's apply it to higher ed. How do you get, Gen Z's attention? Give them something fun to do, something to hang on to. I love this Bethel University example. This is just two panels glued together. And they have a pennant banner that's embedded in this piece. And I love this because, again, you get this really nice, I love the snap. I'm just going to let you listen to it because it's satisfying. And what's nice is also from a design element, like how they did this, they completed the image. But then also this becomes a nice little, keepsake that they can put on a wall, on a door, on a something. But then on the back, they've also got their little technology element. We've got a QR code. I talk a lot about in my research, in the work I do about print plus digital and how print helps to slow people down and then drive them to the website or to that next experience, that whole print plus digital. How do we get people to get this, say, oh, this is interesting, and then scan the QR code, go online, and get to that next step in the customer experience. So really nice. I love the way that this makes noise. I like just the simplicity of this, and that it also has a keepsake, which is really, really nice. So these are fun. I'm just showing these because I want you to think about the physicality of paper as well, and how you can do some really simple things now that we're talking about interaction devices. You know, the idea of, I apologize, I'm upside down reverse on the camera, but my hand is this way. So you get the idea. There's a sandwich. This is just literally like a large card, and it's got little drill holes to get somebody to put their hands into the piece. They did this. This was for a pub. And you've got the beer as well. I could totally see this for a cell phone. I could see this for, other types of imagery. But again, and I love this also for Gen Z. I mean, it's kind of hard to resist something like this. You've got to put your hand in it. You're going to. So I think this is also something really neat, as simple ideas that are engaging. So now let's look at one of my other favorite things to do for print materials in general. And I put this in kind of the low budget tricks category, but I love visual tricks. And this was just a self mailer. And this is a classic trifold. And there's so much you can do with a classic trifold. And what they do in this one, this is a farmer's dog. And they just do an image trick here. All this is an overlay, simple panel here, but they're doing a food comparison of their fresh food versus dry kibble. And what I really like about this is it's a really great visual. We evaluate with our eyes, it's a quick thing, and image tricks like this can be just a really easy, inexpensive way to get somebody's attention, to get them to evaluate something, or to be interested in, the change in an expression or the change in the image or something. So this one also has a soft touch coating on it as well, layering in the sensory here. So classic trifold. Now I want to move to this one, because this is a classic trifold as well. Really nice John Roberts sample here, but this one also opens up like this. And what they've done here is they've added this extra panel, and this panel goes out. You get this really neat shape and this interaction, and then it goes down. So you're actually in more of an L format here, but again, we've got a QR code. We've got sensory going on. I know you can't tell on my screen, but there's a rubberized coating here that really has this like football field. This is a scented ink. This smells like grass. There's definitely a sensory, and then they've also got some gloss going on. So there's just a lot of really nice interactivity here, and it's based off of a classic trifold, so it's very intuitive to open. I love the shape and the interaction, and then it's got a really nice soft touch on the outside as well. So just easy things, simple things that you can do. Here's another nice one. This one's just a classic closed gate. So a closed gate is kind of in one time and then closes again. And I love just a classic closed gate. These are great for direct mail. This one's self-mailed, simple. You get a lot of real estate. The other thing that I really like about a closed gate is that you get different views. So think about formats in the sense of how you want people to experience your content. So what's really nice here, and you can see this great like high gloss going on too, by the way, and really nice color. But you get this view, so this is a view. You get this really nice view here and more effects that really add pop. And then this one, it's just what's so nice about this is then you get this really big kind of full view as well. So think about it. Woo, I got to go this way. Think about it in terms of different kind of, I think of them as like vignettes or, different views as you're taking people through. But I really like how in this particular format, you stop here and then you open to here. And again, we've got this really nice, we've got a QR code here. We've got that print plus digital. We've got sensory going on. This has a soft touch. This also has gloss effects that are really, really nice and rich color, and just such a simple format. So really fun to think of this as creative. I mean, it can be, this format can be really creative. So Okay, does anybody have any, I'm like talking a mile a minute because I have so many fun things to show, but if anybody has questions, stop me, or Kimberly, if there's anything that you think of that you want to jump in on, I'm game, let's talk, so.
Yeah, Trish, the only thing, and I don't want to throw you off track because I know you've got a
Sure.
method to the madness here, and I don't want to take you away from that. But one question we're getting a few different times is just asking overall if you have a favorite fold.
Ah, do I have a favorite fold? Oh, that's a really, really good question. My favorite is probably a wrapped accordion. If I had to throw it out there, that's probably my favorite. I also love a see, now I'm gonna just list 8 things, but yeah, I'm gonna say probably a wrapped accordion is my absolute favorite format. So now I'm like, boy, I don't have one out, but
Yeah, I don't want to take you off course. Just do your thing.
okay. But yes, that is, I will go on record saying my favorite is wrapped accordion. And the reason for it, by the way, is not just random. I love a wrapped accordion is an accordion fold. So you get the zigzag back and forth accordion, but then you get the cover that wraps. And the reason I love that is because it becomes good for inserting into envelopes and mail. It can self-mail, and you get that really nice surprise reveal of an accordion pullout on a wrapped format. So that's my reason why. And then also because the accordion, you can then step it and do all sorts of weird stuff. So okay. Okay, so we did something simple. We did the trifold, we did the simple gatefold. Now I'm going to modify double parallels, because double parallels are also just a wonderful opportunity. They're classics, and we're going to kind of go through that fun exercise of kind of fold placement, die cut, shape, etc. So if you're unfamiliar with a double parallel, a classic one is basically in half and then in half again. It's one of the simplest kind of production formats you can do. It's just 2 parallel folds, very easy to machine fold. So what you can do is you can play with the fold placement, the scores or folds, to create a stepped effect. This is a stepped double parallel. So this is, it's basically short of in half. So I'm trying to get you to see that. So a little bit short of in half, you can see here. And then the cover folds short of in half. Take a piece of paper and play with this later. You'll be like mind blown, because you can get that stepped effect with just the movement of the placement of scores, which is really nice. And it gives you the ability to organize your content. And we were talking about with the closed gate, how you get these kind of vignettes. What's nice about this is you get that first view, and then you get that second view. And we'll talk roll folds in a bit, and you'll see a very different user experience on that, and the views on that are very different. So anyway, this is just classic, but simple modification of fold placement, but you can create a stepped edge and the ability to organize information. So that's one thing you can do. Now let's look at same format, but traditional placement of the folds. However, now let's play with shape of panels. So, and if trying to connect dots for everybody, but if you think about the first example I showed you with the open gate, and we saw how we had a classic open gate, then we changed the shape of the panels on the open gate. Okay, think of this as like that next step. Now we're changing the shape of the panels. So now we've got this fun little, this is just a little welcome to the neighborhood from a bank type of thing. So cute, creates a little scene, little stand-up scene, but I love how they changed the shape. But this is just a double parallel in half and in half. Okay, so shaped panels. Okay, so like we did on the open gate that we saw in the beginning, then we started to look at, excuse my little pen mark, how that happened. But now let's look at overall shape of the piece. So now this is also a double parallel in half and in half. Okay, same format. But now we've got shaped panels on all of them. So now let's fold in half and in half again. And now you see how you've got this wonderful kind of hilly scene that's really nice. But what I love is, you can play with kind of keep a rectangular shape, but play with keep a rectangular finished shape. which can be important for mail or envelopes or things like that. And then play with the shape of some of the panels, or you can play with overall shape of the piece. So this is kind of that step. And now I've got a really fun, just because I can, fun iterative like example for you. So this is also a double parallel in half and in half, but now think of it as a double parallel. I just messed it up for everybody. There's no surprise. Okay, think of it as a double parallel that's glued at the bottom. And in gluing it at the bottom, they create this piece that they were able to do these little, I call them violators, but little like graphic violators, but now I'll show you. The bottom is glued. This is just in half and in half, but then they created die cuts and these little violators that then create a little shadow and dimension. And then they fold in, and they're just really fun reveals. And this gets into, if you think of what we've already seen, interaction devices, we've got some dimensionality going on. We've given somebody something to do. We've got some die cuts. You know, this is just another way to layer in interactivity, but this is a very simple format. So it's just kind of fun to kind of build on these things and to think about, yeah, we could glue the panels together. We could do some simple things like that. So it's neat how this all kind of builds together. But now that I've done some dimension, I feel like doing a little bit of, I'm going to go out of order, and I want to do some dimensional formats in between here, because the John Roberts team supplied me with some really great things, and then I have some additions. So I want to make sure that we get to these. And I love this format. Also important to note that they do this one by machine, and not everybody can manufacture pop-ups by machine. So that's a key element here. This is a mail format. This is self-mailed. And this one, it's a pop-up. Here, I just want to make sure you can see it in my, in my camera. But it's got this really nice, custom shape here. You've got this is called a box pop-up. So you've got a box pop-up format here. And the other thing I really like is that there's this extra panel that folds down. So you can make that first view what you want it to be, and then you can reveal that next layer of information and the offer, which I really like. It just gives a really clean view, and then you can pull down and get extra information. So I really, really like this. So now I'm going to show you this. I love to see the same format in with different content associated with them, because sometimes it's hard to make the leap and go, but could that be a holiday card? You know what I mean? And so I love this for this application, but then here's a holiday card version. So, and these again, mailed, and this one I think went in an envelope. That one's not a self-mailer, but I love okay, they've got the holiday theme, and then they've got some additional content on that reveal panel. So just such a nice dimensional format, visual, interesting, sensory, and then you've got also a little surprise reveal that I like a lot. So that one's really cool. This one coming up is one of my absolute favorites. Let me just make sure I activated it. Okay, yes. Okay, this is one of my absolute favorite formats. I know I already said wrapped accordions were my favorite formats. One of my favorite dimensional formats is this one. So this one is this is the cover. It's got a little sticker on it, but this did self-mail. But when you open it, watch this. I love it. And what's neat about this, by the way, and I took one apart because I just want you to see how this works. There's a little diagonal fold in here. And by the way, I've seen this format. I have several variations of this. I've seen this with a business. This one's great because it pops up with a phone, and a QR code, which is really distracting and fun. And it's that print to digital connection there. But what I also have seen, like I've seen a business card pop up. I've seen, I have a wallet version that has money that comes out the top. There are so many creative things you can do with this, but I want you to see real quick how this works, because I tore one apart. I'm sorry. John Roberts' team, I apologize, Kimberly team, but I want people to see how neat this is. So this folds down and over, and then this just glues. So when it's flat, your first time that you open it, you've got some scores and it like activates it, and the scores activate and it pops up. So I love the size of it, and I love how many different applications that you can use for that format. It just lends itself to so many things. I could see that also for like event promotions, product launches, just so many fun. I could see it as a holiday one with stuff popping up. I don't know. It's neat that you can have the custom item that pops up, and then the rest is kind of standard. So really cool. Here's another just really great bold color, great effects. And then this one has a really nice, just a classic V form. This is a V format pop-up. So we saw a box pop-up. This is a V format pop-up. And so you can see here, and this is huge. Like, this is so nice. And you just don't even know it's coming. You know, it's nice and flat, pops up. This also has sensory going on. You can see, I think my camera's pretty good here. I think you can see that there's texture going on here. So there's a sensory thing with the gloss. Just really bold color, and just a lot of fun with the football theme on this one. So, and then I love this, this as an idea for something that I call them, I guess, more like a desktopper type of a thing, or something that people would hang on to. This one is flat, you know. By the way, this does self-mail. However, this one, because of the edge, it does go as a flat, just FYI. But really, really cool that it doesn't have to have an envelope. This one has a QR code, but watch this. I want you to be able to see it. I apologize. My camera's straight over me. So, okay. So then it basically pops down and stands on its own. So it's I think I needed this. There we go. So it's a wonderful little kind of almost tent card like, and this one's really cool. It just has it's for an event. And it's just got join us this fall. It's got a code, it's got a QR code, and it's dimensional, and it stands up on its own. It's got this base. And again, compact, unexpected, just really, really cool. I also have a box here. I'm just going to show this because I love packaging and what can be done with packaging. So this is my one kind of cool packaging example with the sensory. I've got just a wonderful box, nicely scored, great effects on it. And really, there's so much kind of data behind what draws people's attention when they're shopping, and perceived value and things like that. So a lot of these special effects can have tremendous benefit because you're adding perceived value and just, you know, value and sensory, where people just see it, touch it, want to spend time with it. So that's pretty important too. Let's see. I just want to check my time. Okay, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. All right, Kimberly, anybody have questions or anything?
Just a lot of comments and commitments are going to start following your fold of the week, which is pretty fun. And then at the end, they're asking how they can reach out to you directly. But we do that at the very end.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So now I love this kind of building on basic formats, because there's so many things that we can do. So let's take a roll fold, because I think everybody knows roll folds. Roll folds have the panels that roll in on themselves. And each panel has to get a little bit smaller because paper is dimensional. But what I really like about roll folds is they are machinable in most cases. I mean, we'll have some, I'll show you some ones that that maybe can't be folded by machine, but I've got machine foldable ones as well. And I just we're going to do this exercise again. So here's a really nice classic roll fold. And this one, but what I like is they added this nice little die cut on the cover. You got a little bit of dimensionality, touch of interest. I like the pop of color. And then you've got the roll down. This is a classic. This is a classic 4-panel roll fold, but you got your special offer. But I really like how they've added something a little bit special here on the cover. So now let's look at, this is a higher ed. I love higher ed marketing. This one's neat because this is just, okay, you can add to a roll fold, you can add panels. So we saw a classic 4-panel. This one is just a really nice example. And by the way, I love, just for my designers that are watching, I love this, how they did this kind of continuation on the imagery. And they just did a really nice job with the reveal on the way this rolls out, and see how they've got the continuous image here. So this is a 6-panel roll, but just classic roll fold, but just a really, really nice reveal, great pops of color, adding panels. So all we did was add to panel count on this. So that's something. This one also does have some sensory. It has a little bit of an embossing going on to create a texture. It's really nice. Okay, so now let's run out this exercise here. Here's another higher ed. Now we've got a roll fold, but let's change the panel shape. So we kind of like we did on the other ones, right? We did this on the double parallel. We did this on the open gate. Okay, so let's do this. Oops, am I upside down? I got to do it the right way. Okay. This messes with my brain. I'm sorry. The upside down camera. So this unroll. So now we're dealing with panel shape. And this is a pennant. So this is a roll fold that's self-mailed. This, by the way, perfs off. But this is there we go. And QR codes, right? Are we seeing kind of a pattern here, right? We're seeing QR codes. We're seeing that ability to get people to that next step too. But so this is a 1, 2, 3. This is a 6-panel. So I just showed you a 6-panel roll fold. Now this is a 6-panel roll fold with shaped interior panels. So we finish as a rectangle. We have shaped interior panels. So roll, 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 and closed. So now we still have an exterior shape of a rectangle. Now let's do, am I going the right way? Yes. Okay. Now let's shape the exterior panels of a roll fold. So watch this. This also, by the way, has effects. Okay. And a soft touch, but watch this. Okay. So now we're playing with overall, although we're still finishing as a rectangle, we're playing with kind of the overall exterior panels as well. So, whoops, starting to crowd myself out. That's what I get for showing all these samples. Now I've just got this like bird's nest of stuff all around me. Okay, so now we've played with like exterior panels, and doing so, this is a little bit more like the double parallel with the wavy hills that I was showing you, where you start to create this kind of layery effect. So now I've got that. Now let's take it even one step further, and let's now take a roll fold. So we had the die cut. We now have a die cut cover. We have effects, really, really nice. We've got an additional panel. We've got a gate panel off this way. So this kind of creates almost like a gate effect, but this is a roll fold. Now we're rolling out, 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 but now we've got a pocket. And we've got stepped inserts and effects as well. So this is like, okay, we've now made a classic roll fold we've added some additional real estate. It's still, this one's 6 panels, but it's got 5 of them that roll, and then one that kind of gates. This also has a tip on. Again, something to do, right? So now I've got something nice to peel off and keep. And then I've got sensory, I've got texture, I've got all sorts of things. And again, we're just in roll folds. I mean, that's what I really like about some of the simple formats, is you can really modify them to make them as simple or as elaborate as you want. So where am I? I'm 11:35. Okay, I'm going to show Kimberly. Do I have time to show a couple more?
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So now I want to show sleeve mailers, because these are great kind of classic mail formats that are so versatile. And so this is just a classic sleeve mailer. They can self-mail. The lead edges, oops, sorry, I have to like get my headset here. So yeah, the lead edges here, they still have to be tabbed, but they can self-mail. And so this is just a classic sleeve mailer with an insert. So the simplest thing you can do with a sleeve mailer is just have a single card insert. But what's nice about the sleeve is, as long as you're within postal weight issues that you want to work within, I have these with I have so many sleeve mailers in different cool formats, but you can have a stitched booklet inside. You can have multiple inserts. You can have a folded brochure. I have one that has like a snake fold that it stops and then the snake fold pulls out. You can do so many neat things with a sleeve, and this little half moon becomes a really nice interaction device. And I know it's been kind of a theme today, but it's about getting people more interested in wanting to see what's inside. So this type of a thing gives you that little sneak peek of something coming up. So now I want to show you different ways to take a sleeve. This is, next step up, definitely, but a really, really cool modification. This is more in the specialty side of things, but this has two of the thumb pulls, and you can pull them out to reveal. And I've also seen a version like this where these could even have a fold in them and you open out one more time. So there's lots of really nice things that you can do, but this is so fun to kind of go, okay, what's in both sides? And let's take a look at the back. And there we go. Look at that. Surprise. Not surprising anymore, right? We've got QR codes as well. We're trying to get people, this is for an event, and we're trying to get people to buy a ticket. So just really, really nice. And now let's build on this type of a concept. I love this piece too. And this one is awesome because this also is the easy for mail. And then this also has the pull tab, but this one builds. So this one goes this way. Now look, we've got another pull tab. Pull. Great. I'm curious. Let's pull again. Hey, look at that. Okay, so and it's really nicely designed on both sides, of course. I think I'm upside down. I apologize, but you see they've got a nice chart and everything else, and they've got the QR code again. Obviously this is more of a specialized format, but I know that John Roberts' team does a lot of these, and they're just a wonderful, interactive, dynamic, but also compact. I really like how compact these are, and I like the build. And, it's also been kind of a theme today, is building on different formats, building on and creating different ways for people to experience the content. So this is neat because you're kind of giving them a view, and then they're revealing, whoops, I did that. And then they're revealing the next view, and you're stopping them. You're giving them that moment to see that vignette or view. And then you've got another moment and you're stopping them for the next one. So love any type of a sleeve format. Those are also in I'll call it my top 10. I know everybody wanted to know what my favorite was. Sleeves are kind of in my top 10 because I really like those. And then I have just my last couple of formats for today. I wanted to show just some nice examples of some specialty formats that are compact. This one is called a checkbook. And this one also self-mails. And all this really is it opens like this, and then you can go up and down. So it's just a really nice little versatile format. And I believe they fold these by machine. And just simple, clean, fun to open. I love the directional on this. This one also has a soft touch going on. So you've got a really nice sensory on this one, but it's simple. It's a flood, just a soft touch over the whole thing. It gives it a really nice feel, and yet clean, simple, nice. Another format that I really like is a crossfold. What I like about I actually have two samples for you. And again, just to kind of show them in different context, but I love a rectangular crossfold. Usually crossfolds end up in square format. I don't really know why. I think it's just because they're kind of a special format and people feel like, oh, I can finally do a square or something special, or you might have a bigger budget or something and kind of go, yay, I'll do square stuff. But you can, I like to call it a splurge save scenario, but you can splurge on a format, save on the postage if you do it in the right proportion. So a lot of specialty formats don't have to be that special if you do them in a format that's proportionate for mail. So then you don't get killed on, your postage costs and add to your production costs in doing a specialty format. So what's nice about this is you just get this really nice reveal. And I love this because they did a tip in of Post-it notes, which is fun. And this is all about forms and different things that they're selling. So it's also just really nice. I think I did this backwards. I got to do it the right way. Hard to do it upside down to get it right. And so just a fun example of same format, but with this one's got foil stamp, it's also got a soft touch. It's got high gloss. I like the register. You can do some really nice crossovers with this type of format, and then open. So I've seen these for holiday cards, events, product releases, you name it. This one, modifying on that format, same format, just short cover. So now we've got like a gate opening. So think of this as kind of modifying a crossfold, right? So we've got a gate opening, and then we've got the crossfold, and these panels taper just a little for a little bit of a unique shape. There's our QR code. Oversized, just a really nice example of you can take kind of the base of a format and you can modify it and shake it up. And so my last one that I'm going to show, because I know we're running out of time here, but I wanted to show this one more higher ed, because it's kind of building on this crossfold specialty fold type of format. But this one, Kent State, this one did self-mail, and you've got this, and this has a short panel here, and then we've got the crossfold panels, okay, that taper. I like the shape of these and the rich color. But this is actually a composite format. So this is two formats glued together. This is basically a trifold glued into a crossfold. So this has a little tab right here that's glued on, and you can see here that this stays in, but it opens up. So you got a lot more real estate in doing something like this, but then it also doesn't fall out and separate from the base format. So just really nice modification and great use of kind of adding extra real estate into the format, and a really nice experience going through. So there you go. I hope this was a lot of kind of fun ideas for everybody, and I hope everybody's going to start like building on calling up their John Roberts rep and kind of building on some ideas for some new things and effects and format modifications. So
yes, thank you. Gosh, this has been so much fun. And there were a few questions in the Q&A from current customers. Please reach out to your sales rep, and they are loaded, ready to go, and will help talk you through the process. But Trish, again, it's just been so much fun being a part of this. And I love that people are excited enough, taking notes, and are committed to following your fold of the week. That's pretty cool. If someone reach out to you directly, what is the best way for them to contact you?
Sure. Probably easiest thing is reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm just Trish Witkowski on LinkedIn, and I'm always on that, and I can message or whatever. That's probably the easiest thing. And then of course, if you go to the YouTube channel, it's just youtube.com/Fold Factory, and you can follow there. Or if you go, you can subscribe to my channel there. Or if you want the fold of the week in your inbox every week, it's just go to Fold Factory and join Fold Club. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. And then I'll send you an email every week.
That's perfect. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thanks again, Trish, and we'll be in touch. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.